Hey everyone, it's Keela here for Soy and Shea, and thank you so much for joining me for today's soap making video where we're doing one of the Patreon soap design challenges. For this month I asked my patrons to list up to 3 colours that I could use in a soap, but the catch was they had to either be botanical based or clay based. I wasn't using any micas because I want to create a new range of soaps that focuses on the clays, the botanicals and essential oils. I'm avoiding the word natural or nature or anything to do with earth because at the end of the day, micas, a majority of them that are out there, are in fact actually natural, but because of a lot of misinformation that is out there, many people try to avoid micas thinking that those bright beautiful colors are in fact synthetic when they are not. So for this range of soap I just wanted clays and botanicals. Now I have decided to call this range Claytanicals, combining those 2 elements together. Now I put all the suggestions into a soapy jug, and the one that came out was from Missy Jae, who runs Happy Soaps here in Australia, and I will leave links in the description box when she updates them for me. Now she wanted to see me use Alkanet root powder, Annatto Seed powder and Turmeric, and when I put those 3 colours together I immediately thought of things like citrus and lavender, and I came up with an essential oil blend which I'm calling Calming Citrus. Let's go and see how I make it. Alright, so we've got our oil and our lye water to room temperature. Just going to very gently pour that in to avoid any splashback. We'll mix it up and then I'm going to split it out for the colours. Alright, so we've mixed that up. Now I'm going to try and split it out between these 3 jugs evenly. Now I already have the turmeric in this pot here, so just going to finish pouring the soap in. We might actually pop our stick blender in that one because that's going to be the lightest, I think, of the colours. My jug's going to be very, very full. Alright, so we've got that split out between 3 very full jugs there. Hopefully I've left myself enough mixing space in here. Now here are my other colours. So we have got, this one would be the Annatto Seed, which gives us kind of like an orange. I warmed a little bit of oil up. I had about probably about a teaspoon and a half of oil, and then I put some of the powder directly in there, and I've just let it sit overnight. Now I'm not going to strain this. I know that I'm going to end up with little speckles from the powder, but I kind of really want that look in this soap. This one here is the Alkanet, which should give us a purpley red, and again I put in about a teaspoon to 2 teaspoons worth of warm oil, and then I put in about half a teaspoon of the powder, and I'm going to again pour that in there. We are going to end up with some speckles, but that's okay. I want to start really learning how to work with these colours, so I'm going to start off basic and then I'll work up to straining and all that sort of thing. So I'm just going to give these a quick mix. Alright, I'm liking the colour of that one there, but I am going to see if I can just scrape out some more of it. Will also make these pots easier to clean if I have scraped it all out. Let's get a bit of soap in there. Again, that's going to help with the cleaning of these little pots. Alright, now let's add in our essential oil blend. It's very, very full. I have got a blend of some lemon for our turmeric, the light yellow. I have got some orange in here, some orange 5-fold for the Annatto, and then for the Alkanet I used some lavender just to try and complement the scents. And this is going to be a calming citrus blend. So let's give this a bit of a mix in here. Now I can see, because of how yellow these oils are, it is going to affect the colour a little bit, but we'll see what it does through that sort of saponification. everything is now mixed in and it's playing quite nicely. I was going to try and do some layers, but it's actually playing a little bit too nicely for layers. So I'm going to just go for alternating pours in here, and we'll see what we get by the time we get to the end. Hopefully those two yellows are going to be enough of a difference. I'm just going to keep alternating my colors and pouring it in. This one does need, just now I've poured that top bit off, it needs just a bit more of a stir. This jug was a little bit too full. My aim in 2025 is to actually bring out a range of these sort of, I don't want to call them natural soaps, because a lot of people, when they say natural, they are talking about using clays and plant-based colors. But for me, mica is actually natural too, and I have spoken about this in another video. They do synthetic micas, but synthetic micas actually do cost more than what natural micas do. So I don't want to call this a natural range of soap, because if it's natural, I should then be able to use micas. So I'm trying to think of a name that does actually say that it uses the plant-based colorants, it uses clay. I was going to call it earth-bound soaps or earth soaps, something like that. But you know what? Mica comes from the earth. So it that also defeats the sort of naming of that sort of range. But I am going to work on it, and I want to bring out a few more of these style of soaps. Now I have tried doing it in the past, but honestly you have to try and bring out soaps which are suitable for your niche market. And previously when I've done them, they've not sold particularly well, and they always ended up on my clearance rack. And a lot of that has to do with the fact of where I was down in Cleveland. It's not that people are completely unaware of you know, natural things down there, but they, being so much closer to the city, people are they don't mind the bright colors. It sounds really hard, it's difficult to explain what I'm trying to say, but what will be easier to say is up here at the Sunshine Coast there is a lot more of the alternative lifestyle living. People are looking for the natural alternatives. Down in Cleveland, people liked fragrances. There wasn't a big push for me to move away from using fragrance, because at the end of the day, people like the smell of something like coconut lime, but you can't get essential oil out of coconut. So if you like the smell of coconut lime, you are unfortunately going to have a fragrance in your product. Up here, as I was saying, on the Sunshine Coast, people are looking more at that alternative style of living. I've already had a lot more requests for essential oils, for plant-based colorants and stuff like that. So I actually feel now that we're up here, I do have the market up here to be able to offer this style of soap. So these will all have, as I said, plant-based coloring or earth-based coloring, excluding mica. So they will be clays, they'll be using even things like coffee as well. That makes really nice browns, cocoa powder to get browns. I'm using the Alkanet root, the Annatto. I want to have a go of some rhubarb powder to get the beautiful colors that gives. And then they'll all have essential oils. I have been tempted, you can actually get natural fragrance oils as well. If the range takes off, then I'll certainly have a look at them, but for now we'll stick to the essential oil blends. But I'm pretty happy with how that one has gone in, so we'll do that. I think that's thickened up enough. I can take my little ramp out. Now, because of the way I'm going to end up wrapping these, I don't want to do too much on the tops. So I'm just going to actually do a very low little wave top with my sort of spoon here. I want to keep the wrapping of these soaps very earth friendly sort of thing. So and because they've got so many changes in ingredients, rather than using the boxes that all my other soaps go into, I'm going to be using either paper wrap or cigar bands. Now, because I am making this soap at the end of December, which was purposely done, I will, by the time this video comes out in January, have how I'm going to be wrapping these, so I'll be able to show you that as well. But there it is. That is our calming citrus in the mold. We're going to leave this one set up, and then we'll be back shortly and we'll cut it open and see what colors and swirls we've got. Alright, we are back and we're ready to cut into our calming citrus, and I am loving the colours this has come up. The Alkanet root, I really do have to work on it. It does come up a little bit grey for me, but I love when I watch other people use it and they get those beautiful blues and purples. So I really have to learn how to get a better infusion on it. But as I said, this is sort of for me to start testing and playing. I'm loving the speckled look that we've got through there. I know it's not going to be for everyone, but I actually like it. It really shows those sort of natural colors up. But we're going to get cut into this one. All right, let's grab the first one, and oh, look at the drop and swirl in that. I am loving those colors. Really hope it holds these beautiful bold colors as well. That pale color was the turmeric powder, and I only used a little bit to get that pale yellow, and then this dark yellow, almost orange, that is the Annatto Seed, and then we've got the Alkanet powder in there as well. You can, as I said, you can see all those speckles, but I think it really adds interest into the soap as well. Let's move on to the next one. Oh, and look at those drops. I really do like doing this pour, but it's not one I do a lot with my other decorative soaps. So it'll probably be one that I end up doing a lot in this sort of range. But I am loving it, and it's got a beautiful smell to it. It's not too lavendery, we'll make up a new word. It isn't too overpowering on the lavender, but you still get that really nice calming effect from it, but also that little bit of brightness from off those citrus essential oils. So really, really loving how this is coming together, and I'm really looking forward to actually playing more with the different colors. I have been told that some of the colors are actually better to be infused in water rather than oil, so I will have a bit of a play around with all the different plant-based colorants and see what works best. But I am really, really liking it, and as I'm actually cutting it, at first I saw this Alkanet to be quite grey, but I am actually now starting to see a sort of purple hue through it, which is what I wanted for that sort of lavender side of the fragrance. But there it is. There is the calming citrus soap using all plant-based colorants as well as essential oils, and they will be a part of a new range of soaps I will be bringing out throughout the year. So I hope you've enjoyed coming along with me as I made this soap. If you did, why not leave me a thumbs up and any comments down below. And until the next video comes out, I hope you have a good one, and I'll see you then. Bye.